Hi, this is Dick Bird, playing Torlan. This is from night, day before yesterday, or maybe it was yesterday. Can't really remember. Didn't absolutely destroy everything in my path on this match, but it was a fun match. I suppose you could say there's some fairly inexperienced players in this. It kind of ended up being an illustration of some of the things that you should do or shouldn't do at Torlan. We lost the match before this, and at the beginning of this match I was imparting some wisdom to the troops there. I was basically telling them, okay, there's a time to hold the orb at your prime, and then there's a time to move it out of the orb, out of the prime, excuse me. We had a player that took our orb and sat at our prime during the entire match, which was really a good idea for about half the time he was doing it. But then we had taken both sides, and all that remained was for us to take enemy prime, and he was still holding our prime at holding our orb at the prime. And at that point, holding the orb at the prime wasn't a good idea anymore. But, so he'd mastered one half of the strategy, but the other half wasn't really there. So I said something to that effect at the beginning of this match, and I think someone took that to heart, because on this match it kind of went the same way. You had ooh, that was a nice kill. We had the orb at the prime, and then they actually did make an attempt to take the enemy prime with it, although that attempt failed. But it was a good attempt. At this point, I'm making the classic complaint because someone on our team is taking center. And this of course is, rule number one on this map. And you might wonder why. People sometimes ask why. Why do people complain about you taking center on this map? I mean, the lady announcer keeps telling you to take center. Shouldn't you take center? The lady announcer wouldn't tell you to do if it wasn't right? Well, no, actually, the lady announcer is wrong. The lady announcer is lying to you. Never listen to the lady announcer. She's completely wrong in many instances, and this is one of them. When the lady tells you to take center, don't take center. You're going to let a robot tell you what to do. Seriously, that's what that is. That's a robot. Don't let robots tell you what to do. Robots are stupid. She's got a sexy voice, but that means nothing. Just ignore her. Look at the map. Look at that little map in the upper right-hand corner. That's what tells you what to do. Okay? And this is really what this game is all about, is that map in the upper right-hand corner right there. Right now, you see, we got a prime, they got a prime. Know that now, in order to hit our core, they got to hold our prime. So the prime is very important. In this case, and it's the network between your prime and their prime. It's the network there that kind of decides how this map needs to be played. In this case, you got your prime connected to two intermediates on the sides, and then they're connected to the enemy prime. What that means is this map is going to be very unstable between the point where you control your prime and the point where you control the enemy prime. Now, if you can control the enemy prime, all you got to do is hold that one prime, and you got control of the whole map. Whereas, if the enemy has control of your prime, they've got control of the whole map. That's what it's all about on this thing. Now, center, what is center connected to? Center is connected to nothing. Okay, now if the enemy is taking your prime and you're over there fighting for center, what's wrong with this picture? Yes, that's right. They're taking control of the entire map, and you're taking control of something that relates to nothing. Okay, that's one problem with taking center. What's another problem with taking center? Well, there's the obvious thing, which is simply that there's an orb spawn point at center. If you take center, The orb is no longer going to spawn at the base camp. It's going to spawn in center. What's wrong with that? At the base camp, there's a Raptor. And the Raptor is the best vehicle for towing the orb. There's no Raptor at center. When the orb spawns at center, it's much harder to tow it anywhere. There's some Scorpions at center, but they're not as good for towing the orb. Once you take center, if you want to tow the orb, you have to take a vehicle from the base camp and fly it to center and hope there's somebody there to carry the orb for you. Otherwise, you're going to have to drop the vehicle and pick up the orb yourself if you want it to go anywhere. And if you pick up the orb at center, you've got to hope there's a vehicle around to tow you, or else you're going to be faced with some very difficult paths to take on foot. You can go either way down the canyon, either way down the canyon, either towards your prime or the enemy prime, on foot in the open. Very difficult to do without being killed. And if the fight is for the side nodes,
I've got the orb.
That path is very roundabout. It's going to take you a long time to get anywhere useful that way. You can take the jump to go up to the top, but once again, on foot, not an easy trip. Well, anyway, that's why you don't take center. It's just, the fight is for the sides here. You've got to control at least one of the sides and then keep the enemy from taking your prime. You've got to take the enemy prime. Once you've got the enemy prime, you've got the entire map under control. But if you lose the enemy prime and they start taking those sides, you're losing the entire map. And it won't be long before you lose the whole match. So that's the deal with this map. If you play this map, don't take center, especially if your prime is under attack. Don't take center. You're needed to defend the prime and take these sides. That's what you should be concentrating on. You know, I mean, yeah, I know center gives you that vehicle, that crazy cicada vehicle. The cicada's not that great a vehicle. Okay, it's useful, yeah, it can be good, but it's not that great. Let the other side take the center, and then if it bothers you that they've got the cicada, go up there and do some damage on the cicada. You don't have to kill it, just damage it significantly, so that at least they don't get to use it. You know, it's not that big of an advantage, but in case there's somebody out there that's just really good with a cicada, just do a bunch of damage to the cicada so they don't get a whole lot of use out of it. That's all you got to do. You can do that with a lot of things in this game, you know. I mean, you don't have to necessarily have the tank. It's enough if you're really good at killing the tank. You know, maybe the enemy has the tank, but that's okay if you can kill it. You know, maybe the enemy has the cicada, but that's okay if you weaken it enough to where it's no use to them. That's fine. That works. The main thing is you got their prime. You know, okay, they can have center, they can have the cicada, but you got their prime. That's what it comes down to. You know, yeah, you're not here to get the neatest weapon that you really want. You're here to win the match. That's what it's all about. Well, anyway, I'm not describing what's actually going on here very much. I mean, I didn't really dominate on this match all that much. I had a few interesting moments. That one there was kind of nice. There were a fair number of people in this match. They, like I said, some inexperienced players, but also some really good ones. I got to do a wide range of things on this, and here I'm running the orb. I mean, this is the classic thing to do on this map, is run this orb. Somebody's got to be doing it at all times. We've got control of the map. We've got the enemy prime. All we've got to do is hold that one node. If you don't have the enemy prime, you've got to worry about two nodes. But if you've got the enemy prime, you only have to worry about one node. See how that works? You know, it's just good thinking. It's just laziness. Laziness is good. You don't want to have to worry about two nodes. Two nodes are hard to control. You have to split your people. Some of them have to go this way, some of them have to go that way. With one With one node, all you gotta do is throw everybody right there. You're good to go. Okay, this orb run's gonna go a little better. I was actually gonna try to grab a vehicle because I didn't see this guy sitting here waiting to tell me, but since he was there and since the orb was there, wait. I figured, what the heck, maybe I'll do better this time. And yeah, this time I think I'm actually gonna make it. See, it helps when you got someone doing that for you. And there you go. And yeah, it's just a matter of time at this point. I mean, once you get control of this map, you pretty much just have to hold this prime, and then everybody who's available can go forward and attack. You know, and the golden rule here is always, you know, the heavy slow vehicles stay behind, defend the prime. The light fast vehicles go forward and attack. I mean, that's just my opinion. That's just the way I see it, you know. I mean, for example, if you've got that tank, if you manage to get hold of the tank and get it up to the enemy prime, for God's sake, don't drive the tank up toward their core. You know, it's a big sitting duck. They've got all that firepower, those turrets and everything else just sitting there. I mean, they're going to be firing at you all the way in. You won't make it. You won't even get to the core with that tank, you know, unless the other team is just completely disorganized. You're not going to drive the tank to their core. Okay, hold the tank at the prime and use it to defend the prime. You want to attack the core, take a light, fast vehicle like these manas, mainly the manas. You know, you can get past their firepower with that. And then when you get to the core, you can do a lot of damage really quickly. That's what it's all about. Slow, powerful vehicles defend the prime. Light, fast vehicles go forward and attack the core. That's, you know, maybe I'm wrong about that. You know, I'd love to hear somebody argue the other way if they felt like it, but no, that's the way I see it. Yeah, so now I get to run the spammer, and you can see our orb runner in there, very foolishly running, you know, into the middle of a meat grinder, basically on foot and getting nowhere. That was fun to watch. You know, well, I hate to see that. You know, looking down with this spammer, looking down and seeing our orb runner coming in on foot. You know, and there's like 3 vehicles just homing in on him, and you know what's going to happen. You know, it's like, well, why even bother? You know, just stand up on the hill and wait for somebody to come along and give you a hand with that. Seriously. Yeah, the blue. I knew the blue orb was on his way in here, but I kept expecting him. I was hoping to see him, but he got the, you know. But there were 3 guys, and I wasn't really sure which way he was gonna go. And while I was kind of hoping he would go the way I was looking, but he went the other way. You know, went the way I wasn't looking, which was completely wrong. He should have went the way I was looking. Then I would have seen him and killed him. But damn him anyway. But that is what they try to do, you know. They want to get past you. But yeah, there's nothing serious going on here. I mean, we've got this in the bag pretty much. Well, I say that, you know, we're sitting here with 3 points. But we're not really near overtime here, and we've got control of the map. All we have to do, you know, you can come back. This is why comebacks happen on maps like this, because, you know, if you can control the map, it doesn't matter that you've only got 3 points. All you got to do is hold this node, and eventually you're going to win it. Because as long as you don't go into overtime, because, you know, all you got to do is control the prime and hit their core. Yeah. Which is what I'm trying to do here. I mean, I'm getting a little antsy here because, yeah, we only have 3 points, and we do have to hit the core. And of course, you know, after that, it becomes obvious. Well, you know, maybe there is some defense going on here. But yeah, here I'm gonna finish it up. I'm gonna get my monster kill. Well, maybe an ultra kill. It'd be nice to get a monster kill. Yeah, there we go. Mega kill, ultra kill, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Nice game, man. Have a good evening.